Hello, how are we? I woke up this morning and I felt a bit fired up. I felt fired up to do a video, and basically because I personally had a good year, but I didn't have any advantages. I didn't really have any advantages. At the start of COVID, I was stuck at my sister's place with no money and no job, along with probably a lot of other people. And about 6 months later, I launched my business, my dream business, one that I've been creating for a long time, and it's doing very well. And I wanted to do this video because I know that there are people out there sitting in their comfort zone, probably spent this year doing a lot of thinking. Well, I mean, thinking or just allowing our thoughts to run on autopilot, which isn't really thinking. But I believe there definitely would have been some life contemplation going on, as we do, because we're all human. If you say you don't, then you're just trying to be too cool. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I think there's a lot of people who maybe have achieved things in their life that they thought they wanted, and now they're in a position where they think, okay, well, I've got what I wanted, but I don't really feel any different. Maybe that's because it was a perceived idea that they thought they wanted based on conditioning, or maybe they actually did want that and now they realise that we are spiritual beings and spirit is for expansion and fuller expression. There's a law of the universe, basic law, a law that doesn't change. It's a law of create or disintegrate. It states that everything in the universe is either growing or dying. There's no standing still. It's not possible. If you think about an apple, right, an apple starts from nothing, just comes out of thin air. It grows, it grows, it grows, it gets big and nice and shiny, and it drops from the tree, and instantly, it starts disintegrating. Well, that's the same as human life. If we're not getting uncomfortable and pushing through our fears or breaking our old patterns, changing our way of thinking, expanding, then we're just going backwards. That's to put it lightly. By backwards, I mean, well, like I said, it's create or disintegrate. And people seem to think that they're happy the way things are, but that's just not possible. Nothing stays the way it is. This is what causes people to get sick. People get sick because they get stuck in their old repetitive pattern of doubt, worry, fear, anxiety. And it's a long Long road. Long, painful, dark, frustrating road that people don't realise they're on because it's happening so discreetly. But the good news is we can go the other way. We can choose to develop an understanding. Understanding is the opposite to doubt and worry. It's understanding that just because we can't physically see any evidence of how we're going to get somewhere or make something happen, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's called developing faith. So where we start using our imagination and seeing the invisible. This type of thinking is looked at as ridiculous. If you see someone mentions the word fantasy or imagination, people will just laugh at you. But they're the ones who are stuck, hating their jobs, struggling with money, doing the same thing, drinking on the weekends. It's called ignorance. So when we choose to develop understanding over ignorance, we develop faith. And faith turns into not fear, but its polar opposite. Faith expresses itself through the body, not as anxiety, but as well-being. And well-being, from there, we then express our well-being. And then we get to a state of ease, peace of mind. And from there, we can create. So it's a polar opposite. There's one way or the other you can go in life. I'm not calling myself a spiritual guru, but it's fucking obvious. Think about the amount of people, who do you know who's actually stepping out and doing something different, getting uncomfortable, going against the masses, enjoying their days, financially free, traveling, doing what they love, living with passion, changing? Very few. Very, 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 very few. Take a look at the people around you next time you walk down the street. See if you can spot one person who's walking with purpose, with their head high and their shoulders back. You'd be lucky to see one. You'd be lucky to see one. Everyone else is walking around slouched, living in fear, doubt, worry, ignorance, living as a victim. I can't do this because of this sickness. I got brought up like this. I have this, I have that, I can't do this. I can't do this because of that. Bullshit. Sure, there's some cases that put people in a pretty tough position, but you have a choice to decide whether you want things to have happened to you or for you. Simple. I personally have decided to believe that every single thing happens for a reason and is happening for us. Now, can I prove that everything is happening for our advantage? No. But all you have to do is look at the results and the environment of a person who has chosen to be the victim as opposed to someone who's decided to take full responsibility of their situation. And you'll get your answer right there. So, if you are getting this and you think, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of fucking sense. But where do I start? Well, my friend, starts with getting a mentor. And not someone who's going to ask you what career path you want. Or not someone who's going to sit there and just listen to your story for an extended period of time. But someone who's going to snap you out of your bullshit mind, your logical mind, and ask you, what do you actually want? What do you want? Seems like such a simple question, but when you really think about it, it's not easy to answer. Because we've never been taught to think like this. We get taught to live in survival mode. There's a system, there's a way of thinking, a certain mindset, principles that anyone can adopt. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you think that you struggle too much with too many thoughts going through your head. I've been there. We can all change dramatically. You can create a life that you haven't even thought to comprehend. And I want to help people get on that track. Because yeah, it's a little bit scary and different at first. But when you break through that illusory, if that's the right word, illusion of a wall, life just becomes so much more fun and exciting, because you start to realize that all the things that you believe were true aren't necessarily true. And you start to realize that you can do whatever the fuck you want, while also providing humble service and contribution, of course. I'm not just talking about sitting on your ass. So, ponder on that and get in contact. And I would love to guide the person who wants to change and who either has a vision or doesn't have one but they want to have one, and come enter a whole new freaking world, baby. Happy New Year.